Start this up. Alright, guys.
They say the #1 worst cereal is Honey Smacks. I don't agree with that.
Honey Smacks?
Yeah, I think
It's not great. I do love honeycomb, though.
I don't agree with that either. That's called what are they called over here?
Sugar Smacks?
Just Smacks?
No, they don't call them Honey Smacks.
That's some with the frog, right?
They're called Sugar Puffs over here. With the Honey Monster.
They're just
creepy.
not that good.
They're just kind of standard cereal. They're not offensive to me.
Yeah, what about like a Raisin Bran? Or dude, Cheerios. Cheerios is terrible.
I think Cheerios are pretty terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Cheerios.
It doesn't even smell good. It smells bad.
What about Honey Nut Cheerios?
Yeah, oh dude, Honey Nut. Oof, so good. So good.
That's the mascot for our version of Honey Smacks.
What is that? What is that thing?
He's called the Honey Monster.
They took the frog and they put fur on him.
Yeah, they totally did.
Yeah, they took a frog and a bee and left them in a room together.
No joke, it's the same.
That's crazy.
That's great. Oh, all berries? Yeah, all berries. Yeah, it's a classic. Cinnamon Toast Crunch though is the best.
I have to say, when I did eat the Captain Crunch, I would eat all the square, like yellow pieces, and save my berries till the end.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Cinnamon
Tricks.
Toast Crunch. What is that? Oh, that's cinnamon grahams.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is good for the first like 4 bites.
And then why does it taste dusty?
Yeah, because the powder it doesn't. Yeah, it does.
It does taste dust. Okay, it's not just me.
You're saying that Cinnamon Toast Crunch tastes dusty?
Not dusty, dirty. But like the powder.
Powdery would be a better word.
It's something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys are fools.
I still like it. I still eat it. It's just I don't always finish the box.
And you're offending me right now.
The Cinnamon Toast Crunch things, they're cannibals.
That's true.
Yeah, they eat each other.
Yeah.
That is true. They're almost like the minions of the cereal world, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Crave ones do the same. Do you guys have Crave over there?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
What the heck?
I don't know what that is.
That made the list of bad cereal too.
It's like a pillow cereal with chocolate in the middle.
Yeah, it's too complicated.
We have one in a supermarket called Lidl over here that's a lot better. I'd go for that one instead. Yeah, they eat each other, so they're cannibals. What is it with cereal things and wanting them to eat each other?
They're teaching our children violence, that's what it is.
They really are.
Something must be done.
Chip's gonna come back and be like, what the hell are they talking about?
Alright.
Cereal, Chip, it's important.
I feel like Chip would have some very sophisticated ideals about cereal. Or at least very opinionated.
This is true.
I'd like to hear that.
And we'd all agree with it. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Because we trust his food opinions more than our own.
You're right.
Sasha, what do you have for breakfasts in Taiwan? Sasha? It's just me that can't hear her?
No,
it's
I
just
can
me
hear
that
you.
can't hear her. Oh.
No.
I'm
Still trying to fix my headset, but it's not working. So I just have to go without. Ugh.
That sucks.
It doesn't sound terrible.
No.
Yeah, I'll live. But yeah, I eat, well, if I'm lazy, I eat cereal, because you can buy that here. So it's kind of expensive. Otherwise, I don't know, they have a lot of breakfast restaurants, so I actually do really like, you can have really savory things, like bao, which is their kind of bread with like vegetables or whatever in it.
I love bao.
Oh yeah, so you can have bao. Some people eat really savory stuff, like they'll have like noodles for breakfast and spaghetti like things and stuff like that. But I usually have, yeah, like eggs. They have these really good egg pancakes.
To be fair, I think we're the weird ones for having sugary breakfast cereals. We shouldn't. I'm not gonna stop, but we should.
Yeah, it's not good. I really
I'd
don't
eat
eat it
bao
very
every
much.
meal of the day. Bao is great.
It is, it's so good.
I think the Avatar Land in the Disney park in Florida, they do bao cheeseburgers. So the inside of the bao bun is a cheeseburger.
Weird.
Very weird. Very weird. I'd still want to try it, but it just sounds a bit like they're trying to just make it kind of alien, and it's like, this is just a cheeseburger. I haven't tried it myself, but I've heard other people say that it just tastes like a cheeseburger. Ooh. Oh, don't. You're making me hungry. I've got sushi in the fridge that I'm trying to wait until dinner time to eat. What is all of that in the middle?
Fried potatoes.
Oh.
Only way to do it though is to really do them cast iron skillet.
Hmm. Say that as if I've ever used a cast iron skillet.
All right, guys, let's reel it in.
Food.
All right.
Hey, I'm gonna go cook some breakfast.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Last session, you found yourselves the surprised host of a mischievous or mischievous archfey looking for an entertaining pleasure cruise. Luckily, he found your spirited duels to be quite entertaining, and lucky for you, he remembered a to-do list he had been given by the Fey Queen Titania. Before leaving, he gave you a strange glowing pearl he claimed held the store to the Rovenglad, a place near Saltmarsh he claimed to have visited many times long ago. Duke decided that the pearl should go to Natali, who has not mentioned it since, though has been somewhat melancholy over the past couple days. The next 6 to 7 days of sea travel went by smoothly, and soon enough you sailed back into the familiar Saltmarsh harbor. Strangely, 2 warships flying the Keelandish flag sit at anchor near the entrance to the harbor. They watch you closely as you pass by, but take no further action. You navigate the smooth waters of the harbor easy enough until you find a familiar open dock. As you weigh anchor, you see a group of heavily armored soldiers accompanying a bookish-looking older man down the dock in your direction.
Seem to have changed.
And I take it we don't recognize this bookish man.
You do not.
Could these be the soldiers or people asked to come and deal with those blueberry zombie problem? I guess we'll
Could the
see.
Crimson Brotherhood have already fouled things up so bad?
Ooh. How many soldiers does it? Are there any other soldiers just milling around, or is there only the group escorting Bookish Man?
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
First roll of the day.
Shame it's me. I have to
Yeah.
scroll all the way down.
So as you look at these guys coming up, you see that there's 6 of them marching behind the older man in lockstep, heavily armored, wearing plate armor. Not full plate, but maybe like half plate. And they likewise are wearing Keelandish colors, which is like a dark, like a red or a burnt orange, with a black, I think a griffin. I'm sorry, a lion, side on. And as you kind of raise your eyes up and run them down the rest of the length of the dock to the rest of the dock district, as it meets the water, you do see the occasional patrol of similarly attired and armored and armed guards moving their way through the dock district, which has seemed to return to some sort of normalcy. The port is maybe half to 3/4 full of ships. People are back to work. You see that people are rebuilding many structures that were destroyed, burnt down, torn down, or damaged during the Sahagan attack. The older man reaches your ship. Hello? The captain, please.
Oh, he's coming to our ship. Okay. Step forward.
State your ship's name and purpose. And as he does so, he opens up a kind of a large book. And he pulls out a feathered quill and dips it into a ink pot that's like hanging around his neck, like a necklace.
The gnarled knot. I'm going to turn to the rest. What are we here for, technically?
Why?
Visiting?
Transportation and commerce? I don't know.
That's transportation and commerce.
A merchant ship, so heavily armed. Forgive me, but
That is...
I would have mistaken it for a warship.
Yes, it's somewhat of a recent acquiring of arms on our part. It would potentially take longer to explain than you have. I wouldn't want to waste your time.
Do you sail for a country? Or a company, or are you your own?
We sail for ourselves.
What cargo do you have on board?
What cargo do we have on board? Do we
None
have
currently.
anything?
No.
No,
No.
didn't think so. We're here to pick up cargo, but we've sailed grain in the past and metal.
All right. Passengers?
We don't have passengers, do we?
None to speak of, other than crew.
Just crew, no passengers.
All
You'd
right.
think I'd know my own ship, but apparently not.
He kind of writes down a few notes in his ledger. My name is Gormand Rayland, and I'm the harbor master here in Salt Marsh. Have you been here before?
We have, many times. How long have you been the harbour master for?
That is really none of your concern.
Right. We were here somewhat recently. Were you here for the Sahagan attack, or...?
No, I'm here because of the Sahagan attack. As you can see, the king, it seems, has taken a bit of interest in the goings-on of this port city. He, believes... Well, I won't get too much into it. But, things aren't done... Things have changed here a bit. The backwater ways of Saltmarsh are going out the door, so to speak. It's high time it was modernized.
Any new rules we should be aware of?
When was the last time you were here? You said the Sahagan
That was the
attack?
last time. That was the last time.
Well, there is a new instituted port fee, 2 gold pieces a day, to weigh anchor here at this harbor. Likewise, your weapons must stay on the ship or be turned in to the captain of the guard.
Right.
Secondly, or thirdly, your ship is subject to mandatory inspections upon first anchor and prior to leaving. If you do not acquiesce to these requests, you will be asked to leave. If you do not leave, you will be made to leave. If you try to leave the harbor prior to inspection, it kind of indicates the 2 warships near the entrance to the harbor with his long nose. You will have complications.
A moment, please, if I could have a moment with the rest of the crew. Can everyone go to the other channel with Brad?
Ooh! Ooh! Yes. Bye, Brad.
Farewell. Farewell. Yeah. I guess it's just you and me, Chip. These rascals. Sorry you won't be able to be there for the conversation, but I'm sure some shenanigans will ensue. Sorry you have to work, by the way. That's a bummer. And we'll miss you. Oh, I wonder if it actually will come through. No, I don't think so.
I'm so sorry you went in.
We
Hold
had a
on.
wonderful talk about breakfast.
I bet. Hold on one second.
What about pancakes and hash browns?
I mean, you thought those Rice Krispie treats sounded delicious. Whoa, let me tell you.
Okay. So, with him saying the rules, I'm gonna come back to him and say, you are relatively new, so I don't expect you to have known this, but we're actually responsible for saving the town from the Sahagan and did manage to bring a fair few of the townsfolk back from the very depths of the Sahagan lair. And it would be a shame if people looking out for the interests of this town didn't have weapons on them to defend it. We've done good in the past. I think it would be a waste of our talents if you made us leave everything on the ship.
He reaches up and grabs a spectacles that are sitting on his nose. Kind of lowers them, looks at you. Oh, you're those mercenaries, are you?
Yes.
Huh. And pushes the spectacles back up with a finger. You're part of the problem. Look, when I say backwards way of doing things and coming into the more modern way, that's what we're talking about here. Mercenaries, cutthroats, militias, it's the way of the backwoods, the frontier. King Scotty doesn't really appreciate the results. I mean, maybe in an instance or two it truly has helped, but look at all the trouble that Saltmarsh has experienced over the last year. Attacks in town during festivals, a complete town takeover by an invading force of creatures. Had there been a true military force here and a real modern way of doing things, that wouldn't have happened in the first place. Listen, I appreciate your gusto, but, look around you. We've got a fine force, 2 glorious warships, plenty of soldiers, and our new captain of the guard is quite capable. Your services, as it were, they won't be needed. In fact, we believe it will only add to the chaos. Or potential chaos. And please, just revel in the order. Trust those who have been put in charge. They know what they're doing.
Anyone else paying attention would probably see like a little bit of tenseness in Lucilla. Right. That sounds perfectly wonderful. We'll leave our weapons on the ship.
I'm glad you've seen it that way. Now, anything else you would like to declare before these fine gentlemen and gentlewomen come aboard and verify your claims of, let me see here, it's no passengers and no cargo on a merchant ship?
We came from selling. We're aiming to get some more. We've got a contact in the council that we do some work for.
Oh, and who might that be?
Anders?
Mr. Sawmore. Why doesn't that surprise me? Now, if you would lower the gangplank and step aside, my friends here would go about their business, and I shall collect the first day's fee.
All right. Reluctantly let them aboard.
Alright, the soldiers kind of clomp aboard in an orderly fashion. Once they get on deck, they spread out and start moving through the ship in pairs. 3 different pairs kind of moving about.
I'm gonna keep a hawkeye on them as they go through my shit.
I am too, just to see if there's any funny business.
Okay. Yeah, so more or less they kind of move about the ship. They check every cabin. They check every deck. Look through your provisions. Check the bilge. Currently, this ship doesn't seem to have any built-in secret areas like your last one did. For whatever reason, that didn't translate over. After a good 15 minutes, they come back up to the deck and meet with the harbor master. And one whispers in his ear, we do have one question. This older gentleman found in one of the cabins. You said no passengers. Is he part of the crew? They're speaking of Gore's father, who is still with you.
Okay, I forgot he was still with us. He's essentially family. We take care of him, but he is not a paid passenger.
Well, everything seems to be in order then. 2 gold pieces, please.
Yeah, I'll hand that over.
Alright, he drops it into a little pouch at his side. Now, in regards to your weapons, you seem to be very well armed. The mangonels and such, they are not to be moved, they are not to be loaded in the harbor. If they are, you will be fired upon immediately. Is that clear?
Crystal.
Alright. One further thing, as he he says as he steps down to the gangplank and turns. Soldiers file past him down the gangplank. Listen, I'm just the harbor master. I'm not the law here, but I would recommend avoiding any more of those, I think what you would call heroics. And what the captain of the guard, Captain Pillar, he would probably call complications. We of course appreciate your service in the past, but it's no longer
yes,
needed.
it certainly feels like it.
Good, good. Have a fine day. And he walks down the plank and up the docks.
Yeah, there's the absolute nerve. Oh, if the guard had been here, wouldn't be well, you weren't. That's what we get for actually putting our necks out for people.
Why is the king suddenly so interested in salt?
That's a good question.
What did he say? The god's name was Pillar or
Pillar.
Signpost or something? Captain Portico or
I
Captain.
believe, right, Captain Pillar.
He basically said, "Thank you for doing your part in saving people. Don't do it again. Absolute nerve.
Way of the world, Twinkle Toes.
I have to say I can see this as a ploy of the Crimson Brotherhood providing safety and security at the cost of freedom.
So that's their trademark.
Think salt marsh would have anything that interests them?
As far as resources, I don't know. But it had people to control. And that might have been enough. And it's a port, so if you control the trade routes, then you control those inland.
Could very well be right. I'm wondering if we should take a trip to talk to Anders and get some information on what's happened since we left. And ask if we can take any cargo for him to Irongate. Oh, I have to go to the toilet very quickly. Apologies, we've literally only just started. But I will be right back.
So I tossed the names of those guys down in the chat.
Captain Hole up his ass.
Back.
All right. What do you guys want to do?
What nation is Saltmarsh part of?
Keeland.
Oh, so it's part of. Okay.
Yeah. So
This isn't a hostile takeover.
no. So well, I mean, I guess you don't know, but as far as everything on the surface, at least looks like those are Keelandish ships. You would know its flag. You would know their colors as well. At least those are, the same here.
Okay.
And the king of Keeland is King Scotty. Also in chat.
There's a couple of things I'd like to do, but anyone else got any ideas?
Probably go to Ander. I like that. Anything else I'm game for?
Part of me kind of wants to check the church and see if they've fixed it. And
Oh yeah, we should do
potentially,
that.
potentially implemented their own priest of their own governmental religion. Is there any particular deity that this government worships? Or is it
No.
like free reign?
No, there isn't.
Okay. Yeah, those are the two things I wanted to do. And as church.
Very much like to sort out the Scarlet Brotherhood connection. If there is one.
It just seems like they could have potentially just weaseled into a weak city that didn't have much in the way of stability just after an attack and took over.
I believe that they have agents in King Scotty's court.
Well, I'd potentially keep that one quiet. For now. Let's not piss off the king.
Something else I wanted to ask you all about. So we gave this pearl to Natali. And well, I to be honest, I think my expectation was she would look at it, see what it had to show. I assume it shows something and tell us all about it, but she's been quiet. Is this I don't know. Is this a feminine thing? Is this a don't want to talk about it thing?
Are you kidding me?
I don't look. I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I'm trying to.
Right. Well, I can tell you it's not a feminine trait to want to hide things. I don't know what's going on. But if you'd like for me to try and weasel it out of her, I can attempt to do so. You just might not like the methods I choose. You'd be better off
I
speaking
have
to
magic,
her
but
first.
I mean, don't
yeah, a little rude. So
I mean, I don't want you to hurt her or anything. I just, I think she owes us a bit of an explanation.
Well,
Well,
are you talking about Natali?
What's that?
she's... Sorry.
Are you talking about Natali?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay, I thought so. I wasn't sure.
She's likely to give up the information freely to anyone. It would be to you.
Suppose.
So you might have to put on your big boy pants and go talk to your girlfriend.
What? This is not. It's not like that. We're not like
Right.
probably flustered and like turns away.
Just go have a proper talk to her, impart the seriousness of the situation, yada yada. Appeal to her better will.
You do realize that you're doing the dance.
Dance. What do you mean dance?
You are two people dancing around a topic that neither one of you want to address.
Don't like dancing.
You're not very good at it either, I've seen.
Oh no, I'm quite terrible. I'm sure. That's why I never attempted.
Just go speak to her.
What, you mean like now?
Well, you can wait later, but it's not exactly going to make it any better, is it? Do whatever you want. We can broach the subject later on, but...
Fine. So are we leaving our weapons here, or what? What do we do?
Histic is going to 9-section chain for a belt.
Guess see if you can get away with that one.
I could try to leave a hand axe in my woodcarver's tools. And it is a tool.
Right.
Where did we have to do this before?
Casino.
The casino, yes.
Let's not burn down Salt
let's not let that end that way.
I suppose, Sasha, you might have to leave behind that beautiful sword that was given to you by a god.
Who's Sasha?
What? You must have misheard me. I said Vanya.
Aw. Yeah, please. God, I'm gonna murder everybody in this town.
I have to say that several of us are weapons in our own right.
That might just be you.
Yeah.
Well, I look at Kiss and Vanya.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
That is true. I'm gonna try sticking a dagger in my boot. I think I did that last time.
Roll a 1 and stick it in your.
Oh. It's like, oh, that's a toe. That's gone.
Yeah. Okay. Hiss, walks up. I think I will, be fine. Without any,
Generally
pointy things.
Well, if it all goes wrong, you can protect me with my itty-bitty dagger, right?
That was
Right.
actually a very good impression of his.
It was very good.
It was so good.
This feels really good. I think you've always done a good impression of Hiss, though, but that one was chef's kiss.
Did we record that? That was great.
It is. This is
I
being
will
recorded.
also bring a looks like a scroll tube, a large tube tied with a leather thong across my shoulder, across my back.
Okay. Empty?
It has a large parchment in it.
Okay.
Okay. Does it seem like they're checking people? And can we see evidence of them making people take off their boots and stuff and shake it out?
From the deck of the ship, you haven't seen anything like that yet.
Okay. Well, I'll have to hope that that's alright, as it is. Anything we want to do before we leave? I'm going to tell Thrak to keep an eye on our stuff. Keep Thomas away from our stuff.
Oh, I'm coming ashore.
Oh good, it means you won't steal any of our things.
Oh, there was never any real risk of that. Sorry
Hey,
about
well,
my
I'm
baby
actually-
in the background, by the way.
Oh, that's okay.
Thomas is a baby.
Do I have like a lockable chest in the captain's quarters or a key for the door to the captain's quarters? Because if I do, I'd lock stuff in there.
Sure.
Try and keep my magic items safe. Of which 2 are weapons, so this is
And Tomas
leaving a leg behind.
is like not like a hobo sack kind of thing, but he's got a little pack and his gear, and reluctantly leaves behind his rapier and a dagger. And, well, I'll be out around town if you need me.
I won't.
Right. See you soon. And, his booted feet clomp down the gangplank, and he starts whistling as he walks up the dock. Natalie likewise comes out from below decks. She's carrying a bag and has her chest with her inks and needles and tattoo supplies. I'm gonna go check on my shop, see if it's still standing.
Yeah, you should do that. That sounds like that's a thing people do. Check on the shops and whatnot.
Yes.
By the way, did you get a chance to the giant pearl we gave you? Did you get a chance to, check it out, tune to it, see if it contained any memories or images or anything?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I was able to see what the yes.
Everything all right? You seem a little.
It was different than I thought it was going to be. I'm not sure what I had expected, but I'll come by the shop sometime. I'll fill you in. I suppose you do deserve that.
Sure, I'll check in on you later.
All right. See you then. And she hurries off the boat and goes up the dock.
Who call him?
Yeah.
You realize that when two people dance, someone has to leave. Otherwise, you're stepping on each other's feet.
I'm not dancing here. Why is everyone? Do I look like I'm dancing? What?
No, it's a fitting metaphor if you've got 2 brain cells to rub together.
All right, twinkle toes.
Leave him alone. You hear from up near the wheel.
Right, we'll leave you all to it. I'll leave some coin with Thrak to pay for drinks and food for the rest of the crew. How much would that cost, probably? We've got a lot of money.
So what are you doing now?
I want to leave some money with Thrak so that the crew can go buy themselves some alcohol and get some grub.
I don't know. You decide.
I suggest we also leave a few extra gold pieces. We didn't ask what happens. Are the 2 gold pieces due every day? Do we pay when we leave? Is there a fine if we're not paying each day? So I suggest that we leave a couple, handful of gold coins with Thrak in case they come looking for tomorrow's pay and we're not back.
We're talking like...
For Gorman Raylan.
I'm saying, How much do you think that would be?
We left 8 or 10 gold pieces. That's 4 or 5 days if we're gone that long. Who knows?
And Thrak kind of pipes up. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Also, if you want to keep a crew around, especially after what we've been
We
through,
need to pay the crew. We have.
Yeah.
I would suggest. I mean, I'm in it for the long haul, as it were, and I think Linneman and Ezio are the same. As for the others, they've been through quite a bit.
Trying to work out how much we should be giving them.
So I'd say if you wanted to keep like a decent crew and keep them in good standing, I'd say probably like 200 gold pieces split between the crew.
Okay.
We also have a much larger ship now. Do we need to find a larger crew?
Yeah, Thrak will take care of that.
I'll leave him with 300 pieces just in case anything goes wrong or he wants to treat them to some really expensive whiskey. I don't know.
Thank you, Captain. We appreciate it. I'll pass it out to the crew.
Can always count on you, Thrak. Right. We ready?
I am ready, but can I have a couple minutes?
Sure.
Coffee is going through me. Sorry.
Yeah, let's take like a quick 5-minute break.
Oh, I already peed.
Well, it's your fault. Your fault.
I'll sort of sit on my butt.
Alright, I'm back.
Me
Ba-ba-doom.
too.
I have been here the whole time.
Talking to yourself. Did you say hi to Chip?
Wait, is he here?
No, just for the recording.
Oh. Hi, Chip. We miss you. Wish you didn't have to work retail.
True.
Didn't even do it for that long, and it absolutely sucked when I did.
Mm.
It does. Retail's the worst. It really is.
Even if you don't get mean customers, it's still not a great environment to work in. And everyone gets mean customers.
Yeah, at least occasionally. There's that one who'll like ruin your day.
I am the mean customer.
Of course you are.
Karen.
What's a male version of a Karen? Keith,
I think
maybe?
it's Kevin,
Kevin.
perhaps.
It's a Kurt.
Kurt
Spelled
Buchanan.
with K.
There was a Instagram page that was like about Kevin's. They made it the equivalent of a Karen. I don't know if that ever really caught on in the same way.
Yeah, it's different. I don't know.
It seems different.
With like bad male customers, it's usually like yelling. Okay. With like female customers, it's just the nagging and.
I won't shop here anymore. Like, all good. I don't care. I have no personal stake in this store
Right.
and its sales.
Right.
Is everyone back?
I think so.
As a side note, my wife is gone, and I have the kids. So, from this point on, who knows how this is going to go. So, you might hear kids in the background. You might have to leave unexpectedly for a second or two. So, bear with me. Bear with me.
That's alright.
And I'm in a more public.
I hear the smoke alarm, and then Brad
Right.
leaves for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
He's got to go pour a bowl of cinnamon toast crunch for his kids.
That's right. That's right. Here's the candy bowl.
I do wonder what I would do if one of you guys just, I don't know, had an emergency and you needed help. What would I even
Brad
do?
thought I died a few months ago.
So did we all, Kurt. So did we all. I didn't know what to do.
Well, you probably couldn't do anything. But
Maybe not. Sorry. It's not my fault.
connect me to Arizona 911, please. What is it for you guys? It's like
999.
999.
I remember when I was doing
It's funny.
sort of health and safety thing as a kid. We were supposed to act out what you would do when someone needed an ambulance, and I said 911. The lady running it looked so disappointed in me. She's like, oh no. Because of American television, this small
That's
child
right.
is going to just let someone die because they don't know the number for the ambulance.
That's right. We're everywhere. America's weaseled our way
Yeah.
in.
You have. I watched
We're like
The
an
Simpsons
infection.
too much. Yep. Definitely.
Alright, so you guys walk down the gangplank of the ship, down the dock, into the dock district. You find yourselves among the kind of usual things. That life seems to be getting back to normal here. You guys have been gone for a bit, almost 2 months at this point in time. Much of the rebuilding is underway, if not completed. You see people out selling fish and moving crates around, loading, unloading ships, and other than the odd patrol, things seem to be kind of shaping up.
Okay.
As you are kind of walking near the exit of the kind of dock district area, you hear like an old woman call out to you, "Fish or a stick? 1 silver for 2 sticks of fish." You kind of look over and there's this little like cart and this kind of hunched over, squat and wide but old kindly looking woman just kind of laying out rows of little like chopped up pieces of fish that have been deep fried in some kind of an oil and kind of sprinkled over with some kind of unknown mixture of seasonings. "Would you care for some fish? 2 silver. Very tasty."
Look at the others. Carla, you've got the strongest constitution, right?
Sure, sure, miss. I would love to try your fish there.
Oh, you won't be disappointed, I assure you. Yeah. Here's one. She kind of like takes one of her skewers and snaps off just the very end of it, a couple inches long, and stabs, a piece of meat off of just a pile that has yet to be skewered, and she hands it out to you. "Sample, if you need some encouragement."
Oh, thank you. That's very kindly. I'll look at the others with like a kind of trepidatious look and do a little nibble from the fish sickle.
"Oh, go on. You gotta take it in whole."
Eat it.
Healing stone.
Yes, chew. Yeah, very good. Yeah, just
Don't choke.
and it is. It's delightful. It's like this tender kind of white meat that has a blend of spices. There's a hint of lime and salt, and maybe a couple of different spices you're unfamiliar with, but it is quite good.
That is rather tasty. That is rather good.
Oh, I know. You don't have to tell me. She reaches down and here's a couple more, but you'll have to pay for these. 2 silver. Come on, help out an old woman.
Yep, he'll pay 2 silver.
And she gives you 2 full skewers of the meat. She pockets the silver. "Oh, thank you very much. What is your name?"
Sorry.
My name's Ukala.
"Ooh, a strong name. Have you been here before?"
Yes. In fact, we're going to visit an old friend of ours.
"Oh, delightful. I'm new here, but this place is just delightful. Your friends, would you like a skewer of fish?"
I'll take one.
Yeah, I'll give her a couple of silvers and smell it questioningly.
Smells good. She, go ahead.
Does it look like anyone else in the surrounding area is eating this fish?
Roll a perception check.
Or are we the only ones?
No, I mean, as you kind of look around, you see people walk by and just drop off a silver or two and grab a corresponding amount of sticks of meat.
Okay.
People are
a little bit better.
Yeah, people are buying them, like moving around you. You're kind of like hogging the front of the stall, and they just grab what they seem to normally grab and walk away.
She's not the witch.
No, you go, Sasha. What were you saying?
I just said good, she's not the witch.
We don't know that yet. We don't know that yet. I'm gonna ask. So, if you're new here, then where were you before?
Oh, all sorts of places, wherever fish can be found. I was in Seaton a little while back, heard about the terrible things that occurred here. Thought to myself, Francesca, you sounds like a burgeoning place with no fish stick makers now. Better horn in before they come before you. So I packed up my cart, caught a ship, and came on over here. Then it has proved quite lucrative. She reaches under and grabs this glass jar and holds it up next to her ear and shakes it. You can see it's quite heavy with silver. I haven't been wrong yet.
Well, best of luck with your business.
Oh, thank you. The best luck you can wish me is buying another fish stick, dear.
I'll buy another fish.
Oh, luck to me.
I'll give this one to Hiss.
And Hiss looks at it and kinda just tosses her head back and places her little fingers on the end of the stick and scoops the entire kebab into her gullet. That is quite good. Thank you.
It's alright.
Come back for more when you're ready for it. Have a good day.
She kind of starts humming to herself and starts making more sticks as you see the entire platter has disappeared.
As we walk off, I'll lean into Vanya and say, "You've got restoration of sorts if this doesn't pan out well, don't you?"
Yeah, I think we'll live.
Uncle Toes, I don't know what your concern is. That was the best fish stick I've ever had.
I've had problems with food in the past. I don't like to just eat anything anyone offers me. But you're right, it's probably just a fish stick.
Alright, so now you
Also-
find your... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Just to point out, we did have a form-changing hag attempt to eat one of us. So, for all we know, that's her. Pays to be skeptical.
I didn't even think about the hag. I was thinking of Granny Nightshade. No bother. We have too many old ladies.
We have a
I'm
lot
thinking
of
she's a
ladies.
Scarlet Brotherhood plant.
There's enemies everywhere. You guys are so untrusting.
Has anyone seen anyone play Resident Evil: The Village?
Yes.
There's this old lady in it that just like says things and then laughs maniacally. I'm just kind of getting that vibe from the fish lady. She's like, enjoy your fish.
I was
Yeah.
getting a sweet old fish stick seller lady
I
vibe.
don't
But
trust
he could
old.
be wrong. He could be.
I don't trust old people. Okay.
Don't trust
Could
people.
have sworn she was just an old lady selling fish. But okay.
We know what game we're playing. We know how sneaky you are. I
I'm
know.
not sneaky.
I don't trust old ladies.
We know who the DM is.
You just have
Yeah,
to
exactly.
look. It's the little people and the details that bring life to the city. And as such, you find yourself in the middle of Saltmarsh on the main street, seeing familiar sights. Galen Primewater's mansion to the left, the town council to the right, the snapping line down the road. What would you like to do?
Anders, everyone.
Anders is good.
I agree, Andrew.
Okay.
Paula will, of course, be distracted by all the construction and will be inspecting the woodwork as they make their way upstairs.
Of course he is. Fred, could you potentially put us on the Saltmarsh map?
I did.
It's black for me.
Yeah.
I'll reload.
No. It's hold on a second. Daylight mode. You should be able to see the whole thing. Fog of War is off. Huh.
I don't want to look up any maps in case I get hella spoiled for something, so...
Give me a second. Yeah, it's definitely like got the haze on it, like it's hidden from you guys, and I'm not sure why. Dude, they updated everything again. I don't know why they do that.
So just change all the settings when you do that? Or?
I guess. Usually it doesn't do that, but...
Ooh. I see part of it. Don't know which part.
There you go.
I zoomed in, I saw him. Yeah.
Can you guys see it now?
There we go.
Yes.
Okay. Alright. You guys meander your way through town. You just kind of keep an eye on, the building process, and you see that things are going about swimmingly. You can't help but just kind of shout out some odd comments and criticisms and helpful critiques along the way. You receive, a variety of responses back, from gratefulness to mind your own business. But as you reach Anders' mansion, you are allowed in the gate as you are recognized by the staff, and you knock on the door. Anders' manservant, Scaran Wavechaser, opens up the door. In his tall, lithe frame and salt and pepper hair fill the frame of the doorway. Ah, I was wondering when you would return. The master isn't home at the moment. He is at a meeting at the town hall. Can I take a message for you? Of course, you could always try to meet him there.
Kind of had a lot of questions to ask, so that might be advisable.
Well, if you'd like to leave a list, you could. I can fetch some parchment and ink, if need be.
I think that's okay. I think we'll go find him. Right?
Of course. Can I help you with anything else, then?
I'll look at the others. No, I think that's it. Right?
Well, then. Good day. What's that?
Sorry,
Sasha.
Sasha, it's part of what you were saying.
Oh no, I just said it's fine. Yeah.
Well, then, I bid you a good day. He bows at the waist, slowly and elegantly, then stands upright and closes the door.
He would be at a completely different place, wouldn't he? The town hall.
Alright,
Yeah, see those horses running by?
those are Sasha's swift fingers typing away. Where's my phone? Alright, you guys make your way back down the hill, back into town. Classic D&D. You find yourself standing outside the fine town hall building. And make your way inside. And as you do so, you found the town hall chambers mostly desolate. There's a few... hold on. We get a little bit of feedback here. There we go. There's a few like townsfolk in there, but so as you see as you walk in that there's some new construction inside the town hall. The normal 3 seats. Basically, the where the town council members sit is on one side, and the 3 seats kind of spread out, one to the left and to the right, so that the audience can view them, listen to them. But you notice that there are 2 additional seats added to the large desk that runs along where they sit. You see Ida Owland, of course. She's sitting there with a bit of a grumpy look on her face, which isn't something that's all that out of the ordinary. You see again, the tall, lithe, salt and peppered look of Gillen Primewater in his very fancy robes. You see Anders Salmore sitting in his chair as well, and his eyes light up when he sees you arrive. However, you see 2 additional individuals. You see a pale-skinned pale-skinned elf with long, like blonde hair that kind of tumbles about his shoulders in a silken wave. He also is wearing very expensive clothing and has a very kind of disinterested look on his face, barely giving you a look as you arrive. And you see another human male, probably mid-30s, dark hair cut short, medium height and weight, wearing kind of sensible attire, sitting in another chair. Anders sees you walk in. Oh! You've come back! Quick! Come say hello! Hurry, hurry! And he invites you up to the bench. What a sight for sore eyes. Good to see you. How are you?
I guess we're alright.
Back from any adventures? Philip, these are the these are the ones I was telling you about. And he turns and talks to the human male. These are the ones that helped with the invasion, and they have all sorts of adventures. The stories they could tell, ridiculous, and they're quite accomplished new merchants as well. Anyways, you look well.
Do we actually?
Yeah, I mean, you've had a decent number of days of rest and ease,
Okay.
so you're looking alright. I'm sorry, where are my manners? Philip, come over here. You too, Lithiel. And Philip does come over. However, the elf just kind of sits where he's at and leans just a little bit closer. My friend here, the elf, this is Lithiel Silverroot, long returned ambassador from King Scotty from the Silver Stand Elves. He has been appointed here as a new ambassador by the king himself. The elf kind of gives you a half smile, insincere. How do you do? And this here is Philip. Philip Barrowfeather. He likewise is a close friend and of the king as well, and he has now been appointed. These two have been appointed as town council members here. It's wonderful having the influence of the king, a little bit more. How would you say, Lithiel? Would you say modern fancy brought to Saltmarsh? I really enjoy it. And Philip comes over. How do you do, all of you? We want to thank you for your help in the previous invasion. Sounds like you were instrumental in bringing the town back to where it should be.
We were happy to do our part, do what we could. It's an honor to meet you, and congratulations, I suppose.
Yes, we're always looking to free towns of oppressing forces.
When you, after you say congratulations, you hear Lithiel, the elf, just kind of laugh to himself and take a long drink from a goblet of wine standing near him. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're willing to help. Luckily, Saltmarsh has taken a turn for the better, says Philip. There shouldn't really be any need for any of the help you've offered. We have a sizable force here now, set up at the barracks, and Captain Pillar is quite capable. A former personal bodyguard of the king himself.
When I said the oppressing forces part, was there any reaction from anybody?
I liked it.
Make an insight check.
I thought it was clever.
$22.
Nice.
The elf seems very disinterested. I'm not sure he even is bearing you any mind. You feel dismissed. As you look at Philip, you see his smile kind of lessen a little bit and kind of bleed out of his eyes. In fact, there's just kind of a tightening around his eyes as well. Didn't seem to like that comment very much. He kind of inspects you and the others
Philip.
up and down.
Philip will remember that.
And look, I'm glad to see that you're setting a good example. Many visitors that have come here for years are having trouble adapting to the new culture here, but I see you have left your weapons. Well, I suppose I don't know where. How did you arrive? By land or by sea? Oh, they've got a glorious ship. It has a hull that is literally alive.
Oh, Anders, you might want to come and actually take a look at the ship at some time. It's had some alterations
Has it?
that you might find interesting.
Yeah, you'll like it.
You're all full of surprises. I can't wait. We'll have to have dinner sometime. We'll invite the new ambassadors. It'll be a ball. In fact, it's about time for one of your grand parties, isn't it, Gillen? Gillen looks over. Yes, I suppose it is. I'll make sure to plan a rip-roaring one. Welcome back, friends. And he leans forward. Those of us from Saltmarsh remember your sacrifice. And we appreciate what you've done, truly. Not all of us feel that way, I'm sure, but many of us still do. And he looks over at Ida, and she nods at you both. Philip looks over and says, well, we have some business to attend to. If there isn't anything we can help you out with quickly, we should probably be moving on.
Could probably got some questions that could wait till later, but want to have a conversation at some point about taking some more cargo for you if you're interested.
Of course, of course. Yes, I mean, we can't speak of private matters during public discourse, but I'll take a look
Later.
at what's in my storehouses, and we'll see what we can work out. It's good to see you. Good to see you.
Just give a nod. Anyone else got any other questions?
Just for the names of the people again.
Yeah, I got it. I'll put them in chat.
Gotta have notes.
Notes. What's it about monks and taking notes, eh?
What's it about robes and taking notes?
That's just me, okay?
Exactly.
All right. You guys
Oh,
are.
it was one letter off.
You are ushered out onto the street. What is it you would like to do?
Damn it, I was really wanting to ask him about how it got to this.
No, I think we have to wait for later.
Just wondering if he even gets a chance to be alone anymore.
Well, it
Suppose we can
seems
talk
the
about Holly.
Good.
you know,
What were you gonna say, Brett?
oh, I was just gonna say it seems the Elandish king has his fingers in everything around here. But yeah, we could make our way downtown to the
Make it way downtown.
tattoo shop. Yeah.
I had. I'm gonna
I would,
force the inside joke.
while Ukala's doing the tattoo shop with Natali, Hisik wants to find I think would be probably the best bet would be a sail merchant.
A sail merchant?
Yeah.
Sure.
Someone that works with sails and heavy cloth.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So are you guys splitting up and doing different things at this point?
How long's your thing going to take?
Mine's going to be very short.
Okay.
But yeah, you'd be able to go down to the dock district and find someone selling sailcloth.
I would like to ask them. I will take the scroll case off my back and unroll the tapestry or the parchment that I have, and it's the diagram that I showed the other day.
Okay.
And I want to commission a flag of the appropriate size for our ship.
Let me see. Which one's your ship?
I point to the very impressive one out there.
That's your ship. Wow.
It's our
Very
ship,
nice, very nice. Alright, let's say 10 gold pieces will get you a good flag for that one, yeah.
15 heavy stitching, and I'd like it done in 2 days.
It can be done. I like your style. Alright. Come back in 2 days, you'll have your flag. And there's narrow wind that'll pull it from your mast. And it'll flap beautifully. It'll call out the name of your ship, and all shall know who you are, long before they meet your point of your sword.
I look forward to seeing your skills.
Indeed. It takes 10 gold pieces and there you go. Yukala, you said you're making your way where?
To Natalia's tattoo shop, which was it's something the Octopus's Ink or something. I don't remember what it was called. I don't seem to have it in my notes.
Nope, that's the casino. I was thinking Kraken, but nope.
I have it somewhere. I'm sorry that I don't remember it. I'll find it.
worries. No, no worries.
I swear I made a note.
I've got it somewhere. As you, is anyone going with you, or are you going with you? Or are you going by yourself?
Squidding
they're-
makes sense.
They're welcome to join. But I'll, yeah. Not opposed to company.
Alright, so whoever goes with you, you guys make your way over to where you remember being. And as you do, you see that, you see Natalie sitting just kind of on an overturned bucket outside of it, her belongings kind of sitting next to her, and she looks a little dejected. And it's easy to see why. The shop is kind of in a bit of disrepair. Half of the roof has fallen in, and the windows are broken out. Some damage, quite a bit of damage is still left over from the Sahagin attack, and since she has been gone, no one has made it a priority to fix it at this point. Hello. It's as beautiful as I left it.
Yes. I love what they've done with the place. Really opened it up, It's some good airflow. Yeah.
She chuckles and yeah, I mean it'll keep me cool in the summer, I suppose. Too bad it's the winter time. Anyways,
Well, if I can get my hands on some building material in the midst of everything that's going on, I can certainly help rebuild here.
would you?
I mean,
I
I don't know. I have a lot going on. I could really try to fit it in my schedule.
I can pay you in tattoos, I suppose.
Have you had time to mess with your new tattoo inks yet?
Yeah, I've been able to read through the manual, and I just have to give it a try, I guess.
Sounds risky, but I'm game.
All right. Well, let's see what we have. Come inside my shop. She kind of opens up the door, and as she does, it kind of like opens up at a very odd angle. And one of her kind of tattooing beds is still intact, if not a little dusty, and she kind of scoots it over. Hold on a second here. She goes, all right, go ahead, climb on.
Haven't done this in a while. I'll get on the badger chair, whatever it is.
That's what she said.
Alright.
Does anyone else feels like there's a budding romance between Brett and Brad? A bromance, maybe?
No.
Oh, that's just been there the whole time. That's not new.
That's right.
They did have a date. They met up together and had a date.
We did have a mandate.
It's true. We did.
You did.
Yeah, I'm jealous of his deep voice and all that kind of stuff. Here we go. I mean, blah, 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 blah.
Even I'm jealous of his deep voice.
It's true.
I mean,
It's true.
by the way, would Hisik have gone off on his own on purpose? Because I can't figure out if I'm here for this conversation or not.
It's up to you.
I would have. Hisik would have been fine going off. It is something that he wants to do without you guys knowing. So,
Okay.
But after, I knew you guys were going to the tattoo shop, so I would have made my way there afterwards.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fine.
I should have had you guys look through these tattoos beforehand.
Oh, we can do that later, Brad.
No, give him tattoos
Oh,
now.
I already know what I want.
Wait, do we all get them? I think my internet cut out for a bit, so I didn't hear anything. I heard
Well, at the moment, we're just
on
gonna
deck.
do. We're gonna do Uke, and she opens up her case and starts pulling out these inks. And as you look at them, the inks are all sorts of different colors, every shade you can think. And you watch them as they kind of swirl. Some of them swirl with these glittering flashes of light. Some almost look like this one bottle of orange and red almost looks like pure magma within the bottle. Each bottle is unique, and she starts sorting through them and thinking, all right, I don't think what is tattooed is as important as the process. So she turns and leans against the wall, a breeze kind of blowing through the open broken window and passing through the crashed down roof. She kicks a piece of timber out of the way. What do you want, and where do you want it?
But.
Inside the hip.
The tramp. Yeah, he just rolls over onto his stomach and like kicks his butt up. Tramp stamp, please. Right here. Butterfly, with tribals coming off of either side.
Classy.
No judgment if someone has a lower back tattoo, by the way.
Yeah.
I have exactly 0 tattoos, so no offense here.
Yes, same.
Or I suppose I should say, sorry if I offended you. You can't just say no offense.
I don't know. Do you think you could do a likeness of our ship?
Yes.
Ooh.
I think I could. Where at? That's a pretty big tattoo.
Yeah, you've already. I don't know how much real estate I have left on my back. You've used up quite a bit of it. Maybe.
Yeah, actually, how much of Ukala is covered in tattoos? I know about the specific ones he has on his arm, but I couldn't remember any of the rest of him.
He has a lot. I don't
Have we
think
seen
anyone.
him half naked at some point, is the question.
Maybe. But yeah, let's see.
Do you have anything like on your chest? I don't remember that.
No, I don't think I have anything in my chest. That would actually be.
Okay, so she has you lay down, and she goes, "You're gonna have to trust me on the effect this might have. Do you trust me to pick something that would benefit you?"
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, and with that, she sets to work. And over the course of the next 6 hours, this is a long, long session, and it's not very pleasant. But, hold on one second.
I ain't sitting around for 6 hours.
Yeah, so over the course of the next 6 hours, she tattoos a beautiful likeness of the ship that kind of takes up the entirety of your right pectoral muscle. The inks that she uses are these almost makes the ship look. Once she finishes it, she's wipes it up, cleans it. The ship almost appears to move. Out of the corner of your eye, it almost appears to move, and when you look at it, it's not. But if you look really closely, you can see the ink itself shimmers and shines in a way that you've never seen tattoo ink do before. And then, as you look at it, you can see that the living hull of the ship does, in fact, kind of move within the tattoo itself in the same way that the hull does on your real ship. And on the front is a beautiful rendition of your mast or your figurehead.
The one that's not finished.
That's not that.
Right. She took a little bit of artistic liberty with what she thinks it might look like eventually. But you should notice the effects within a day or two. I hope it serves you well. And it looks great.
It does look great. Let me guess. Violent projectile vomiting.
You know me to a T. Hey, I'm sorry about the, how I've been acting recently. I suppose you'd want to know what what was in the pearl, I suppose.
Whatever it was, you seem a bit bothered by it, so yes, of course I'd like to.
Hold on one second. Hold on. Well, it wasn't what I had imagined, necessarily. Coming from an archfey who said it was a wonderful story, I was expecting something coherent and enjoyable, but perhaps there's a breakdown of translation between how he thinks, or it thinks, and how we think. But it was just a disjointed flash of imagery and feelings, powerful emotions. I just don't... It was upsetting. But, as far as I can tell, the roving lad was a lush, vast forest that was either watched over or taken care of, lived in, ruled over. It's hard to tell by a tribe or a group of half-elves. The Archfey, he would regularly, it seemed, these memories, I have these flashes and visions of him and his entourage cavorting through the forest, and these wild acts of debauchery and revelry. They're his memories of the place and what he did there. Anyways, they would come from time to time, and he would enjoy these stopovers there, and every now and again they would encounter these half-elves, and sometimes they would join in and sometimes not. But it was beautiful. Creatures lived there that perhaps lived nowhere else. Trees, just huge in height and in breadth. Ferns as tall as a man. It was quite beautiful. But at one point, there's a memory of him arriving in the middle of, obviously accidentally, a pitched battle between a group of these half-elves and nightmarish creatures. Creatures of death and decay. Giants and creatures of great violence. He didn't stick around long. His entourage and they went away from there and back to wherever they came, and his next memory is of him a long time later returning to a dead land
think it's the whole marshes, you call it. I think the Rovenglad is now the marshes. Somehow it was destroyed. I don't know, something of that great beauty being turned into something of such great horror or ugliness. It did something with my soul. And there was something else. It just affected me deeply for some reason. I'm sorry, I should have been more forthcoming before this, but she kind of rummages around in her pack and pulls out the pearl itself and gives it to you, and it no longer glows. I'm sorry, I wish you could have seen it. But maybe you can sell this? I don't know.
Glad you told me about this. And I'm sorry it was so disturbing. I'll kind of walk around the shop a bit and assess the damage. You know there's always a bright side to something being broken like this, because you get the chance to rebuild it and redeem it in a sense and make it better. One of the spirits or ghosts or whoever they were that, pester me from time to time, and she told me to take you to the Rovenglad. So maybe the reason it was so hard for you to see it destroyed is because you have some sort of tie to these people who used to live there.
Wow.
Maybe, I don't know, through ancestor, through lineage.
Do you think that your guardian was remembering the forest as it was? Or did she want you to take me back there as it is now?
That's a good question. I don't know. All I know is they seem to think that you are quite important, and obviously you are quite important. So I don't know what we're supposed to do, but you're tied to this forest somehow, and whatever's there, be it beautiful or terrible, I'll make sure that you're safe.
I can't imagine I have any connection, or what it would be. It's a bit much. But, perhaps we can try to find out more about it. I don't know where I would go for that.
Yeah, well, in my experience, giant enchanted forests are always tied to tattoo shops and tattoo makers. It's just the nature of things.
She kind of laughs.
I appreciate your ability to make me feel better about these things. You must be feeling your own level of confusion.
Oh no, this all makes perfect sense to me. It's rather no. Of course I'm confused, but yeah, like I said, I'll see if I can find some good wood, some good building material. We'll rebuild your shop, check in with my friends, and when the time is right, if you're willing, we'll see what we can sort out with this Rovenglad thing.
All right.
Thank you for
And take care of the tattoo. Make sure it doesn't get infected. I think I better go figure out a room situation. I think I'll be staying at the Snapping Line until the shop gets fixed.
all right.
With that, she gathers up her things. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, we'll build back. We'll repair the shop. We'll build it back better than it was before.
Thank you. And with that, she grabs her things and starts making her way back up to the Snapping Line to try to find a room. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second.
Just gonna say I'm not sure that Lucilla and Vanya would have stuck around to watch Ukala get tattooed for 6 hours.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's a long time. Maybe we'd go get lunch.
Yeah, we're probably having girls' day, spa day.
Girls' brunch. Oh yeah, Hiss is with us too. Girls' brunch. And Hissick if he wants. Honorary girl for the girls' brunch.
Just because I'm wearing robes.
Hey, robes are unisex.
And a cloak that smells like fish.
Oh, does it actually? Is that
No.
what you just imagine it to be like?
I do imagine it might have a briny smell.
I mean, me too. Because I've got that Dark Fathoms armor on that I think we also said probably smells like fish. So we both smell bad.
My wife just went outside to the garden, her herb garden, and harvested a big bunch of oregano. Now she's tying it up into smaller bunches, and she's going to dehydrate it, and she's going to hang it around my house, and my house will look like a witch's cottage.
Well done. That's a good thing. I
Well,
see
we
no
have-
problem here.
We have oregano up from last year, and what time?
Alright, I'm sorry, I'm back, guys.
I think Denise is just doing a good job decorating the place.
Lavender, drying lavender. We have drying okra. We have green bean pods that are up and dried from last year. All sorts of.
It's got like a witch's apothecary type deal
Yes, I'm married to a witch.
going on. Nice!
Witch with a W.
Nice! That's what I want my kitchen to look like. That'd be cool. Anyway, hi Brad.
Hello. Alright, so during that 6 hours, what were the rest of you doing, if anything?
Girls' brunch with Hissick.
Yay!
Gonna go get some mimosas.
Where
I
at?
just want to check out the church.
Mystic wants a man mosa.
Man most.
Okay.
Okay.
So you and
Although that
Hisik.
sounds horrible, like you wouldn't want a man mosa.
It doesn't sound bad.
You and Hisik make your way up to the church.
Oh no, Vanya and his.
Oh yes.
What would they be doing?
Whoever.
Too?
All the gals.
All the gals. Gal pals. So we've had enough of Ukala screaming like a little baby.
All right. So who's going with you to the church?
Everyone?
Everyone else? All right. So you guys go up to the church, where you guys had a adventurous encounter with both clergy and zombies. And the building itself has been completely torn down and taken away. The temple that was there before is no longer, period. And currently is you see workers in the middle of building a new temple on the same site. It's maybe a third of the way complete.
Okay. I guess I should have expected that. Do you want to ask any of them what happened, or should we just assume they killed all of them and tore the place down?
Matter with the undead is not my. I don't think I'm best prepared to deal with that.
It's more of a curiosity thing for me. It's not exactly like it's my problem. Ooh,
That
tell you what we
boss just
should
got me good last time. So.
It did. I'm glad you don't have to experience that anymore. Do we want to go and look at the smuggler's hideout?
It could be a resource for us in time.
Should see what condition that's in.
And isn't Andrew's compound on the north side of town as well?
Yeah, Andrew's stuff is like, what? Where is it? Yeah, that's it right here.
Aren't we, like, here?
I think it's here. I think it's 28.
Where's the smuggler's house in relation to
I'm sorry,
this?
you're right. It is this one. This was the temple.
Okay.
So the house is up the road. It was like a couple hours travel. Or like
Hours?
it was like an hour's travel or something out of town. It's close, but not too far.
Okay.
But it's not
I mean,
really in town.
We've got 6 hours of waiting for Ukala.
So in that time, you guys are able to travel to the smuggler's hideout. The house itself was already in disrepair, being beaten by the salty winds coming from the sea. As you get there, the overcast sky sheds an even light over it, and a soft wind kind of blows the long grasses down flat. A quick inspection of the interior show that maybe some people have come and gone since then, but the footprints in the dust lead you to believe it's more likely local kids, daring each other to go in and spend a night, in the house or whatever. Nothing leads you to believe that it's back in operation. I mean, smugglers probably wouldn't use it again now that people have known what it's used for in the past.
I'd like to see if I'd like to have paid attention to see if anyone's following.
Sure, go ahead and roll a perception check. You do not see anyone following you out of town. Likewise, the cavern underneath the sea cave is also unused.
Okay.
During our ride or walk, I don't trust Philip Barrowfeather, and I still don't trust Anders' manservant. For that matter, I don't trust Anders. One underlying trait of everyone that's in the Brotherhood is they're humans. The Brotherhood feel that the human race is superior to any others, and they're also misogynistic. It is a brotherhood for all.
Is there no way that they would circumstantially use creatures of other races?
They enslave other races, and women are treated second-class citizens.
All right.
And they could very well use them in their employ, but they're definitely not part of the Brotherhood. They're not anyone that's I think would move us up the ladder.
I guess we'll have to see what Anders has to say about all of this when we talk to him in private. Because if he keeps thinking that it's all hunky-dory and doesn't have anything bad to say about it, I might get a bit suspicious.
It is possible that he wouldn't be a witting participant. They could be using him as he has position and authority, and he's positioned well to be an unwitting participant.
Makes sense.
For that matter, the king could not be in on it, and is being manipulated. It goes all the way up and down.
So what would you like to do about it?
Like to throw as many wrenches in their machinations as possible. That is the oath of our group. But at the same time, if we do it to an extent that they know we're doing it, then it kind of removes me from any future. Then I'm unveiled.
So covert operation is what we're saying.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah, if it comes to it, we could break into Philip's house or such. But yeah, we should talk to Anders first, see if we can get more evidence.
Even revealing the Scarlet Brotherhood is at play here would, if we shed a light on them, then that could force them to leave this area, lose their foothold.
Well, we've taken part in more dangerous activities in the past. You just
Do you,
say the
Bonnie,
word.
could you, your zone of truth, could you cast that on an item that we give to Anders? That I don't know, that instead of casting it on yourself, casting it on an object.
don't think so. Let me double check.
I think you cast it on a person,
It's-
not yourself. You
I already
cast it
looked
on
it up. It's on a place, person, place, or thing type thing.
Huh.
Yeah, mine says like
Centered
a point of your
point
choice
of your
within
choice.
range. Yeah. Within a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn, I think charisma saving throw. So
My thought was if we sit down with Anders, the manservant is probably going to bring the group something. So therefore, we're getting the conversation's probably going to be between us and Anders, but we could definitely ask some sort of question that would, even if we ask about what's going on in the town currently, they can't lie to us.
Only thing is, they're aware.
They are aware?
It says
Yeah,
later
that's
on,
true.
an affected
No
creature is
shit.
aware. Stops it from being such a sneaky thing. Anders is a powerful ally. I'd be hesitant to make him aware that we don't trust him. I think he said in the past he trusts his manservant implicitly, so...
Well, that could mean that they're both involved.
It could, no, I'm just saying we should be careful who we make aware of our mistrust. Does Vanya have access to modify mememory yet?
There's no good sneaky way to.
I don't think clerics usually get it, sadly. It's like a trickster cleric thing.
There's a truth serum, but it just does zone of truth, so they still know.
I have to give it some thought.
Shit. We'll just have to beat it out of them.
I like that speed, but we ought to be careful with that. We could always go under disguises and beat the shit out of them. And just say it's under the pretense of being someone else. I do feel somewhat bad about beating up someone who's helped us so much, though. Last resort?
My money is on Anders not being a witting participant.
So
It's always the manservant.
It's always the manservant. I think this is one of those situations to do more information gathering first. And what a better time to do that when schmoozing at a party? So if that happens, be a good chance to try and get something out of people around the town. We can just break into their homes, you know. It's not like we're afraid of doing illegal things.
Yeah, as long as we don't get banned from another town.
Yeah, back to that one's going to be a bit of a tricky one. The wanted posters that we got given, were they were for the Fire and Iron Gate, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, boy. Let's get thrown out of another port town. Yay! If we're quiet enough, it won't come to that. Unfortunately, last time we went in all guns blazing. towards the end. I'm going to look down at Hiss. Okay.
It's not really my fault, if you think about it. Just saying.
Save your own life. Otherwise you would have been kobold kibble.
I kind of started the crazy, so we all share the blame there.
What do you mean, all of us? I snuck downstairs with perfect silence and little attention.
Okay, Hiss and I deserve most of the crazy.
Well, we'll deal with that when we eventually go back. I feel the most sorry for you, Hissik, honestly, since you did not ask to be in a group with a bunch of arsonists. But we did break you out of prison. So if you think about it, we're even.
Alright, so 6 hours pass. You guys kind of reconvene somewhere in the streets of Saltmarsh. What's next for you guys? What do you guys want to do? The sun is setting, sunset, 7 o'clock-ish.
Do we want to try and meet up with Anders again? At his house?
There's something about dinner, but I don't know what.
No, I haven't heard anything back about that yet. Do we want to get rooms somewhere on land or stay on the ship?
What's our question?
We staying on land or going on the ship for food and lodging?
I think we're always safer from prying eyes on the ship.
Fair. We could just go back to the ship and wait for an invite to dinner. He knows where to find us.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so you guys make your way to the ship. And as you do so, as you move through the ship, through the town, you get to the ship and you climb on board. By the time you get there, night has fallen over the city of Saltmarsh. And you do not receive any invitations, and no one comes to visit your ship as of yet. That evening.
Could do. Do you actually want to do that, Kurt?
Well, if we could cater like some meal, set it up tomorrow for tomorrow night. I'm sorry, I'm eating a sandwich.
How dare you eat?
And unless you want to do anything this particular night, night falls, you go to sleep, and you wake up the next morning refreshed. You call it. So here's your tattoo. you have to attune to the tattoo, which she would have told you about before. So how many items are you attuned to at the moment?
I don't know if my earring requires attunement or if it's just you use it when you use it.
You use it when you use it.
In that case, I don't think because I don't think the Westerwood requires attunement. It might not be.
No, I don't think so. Alright, so let me see here. Alright, so after attuning to your tattoo, and the size that it takes up on your body, you gain your AC goes up to 18. While you aren't wearing armor, the tattoo grants you an armor class depending on the tattoo's rarity, as shown below. And rarity is basically based on size of the tattoo on your body with these tattoos. And it can be used in conjunction with a shield if you wanted to.
Fantastic.
Does he have to be half naked, or is it just unarmored?
Yeah, it has to be. You have to tear your shirt every single time.
Yes.
And wear purple pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Essential.
Short pants. Capris, purple capris.
Purple capris.
Oh,
Paul is always angry.
He's
That's
not
the-
though. He's so chill for a barbarian,
That's the
really.
surprise, is that he's always angry.
Yeah, no, I guess that. Yeah. I think of him as being a big softy. Till he.
It's a line from the Avengers.
Yeah. So that fits better. That version of Bruce Banner.
Very cool.
Very cool.
The sun breaks over the salt marsh horizon. And as you wake up and move about, what would you like to do on this day?
I think two things need to happen early. One is send an invitation to Anders for dinner, and two, hire. What if we hired the old lady?
But to cater our meal.
But we need to hire somebody to cater the meal. But
We
you
have
just
a
need
chef.
huge giant platter of fish sticks.
We have Ezio, who pulls like really nice turkey out from nowhere. We could also get fish sticks.
I forgot about him. So
How could you?
it's been 4 weeks.
It has been 4 weeks.
2 weeks.
Did the Fae people use our table, or did they bring a table
Oh,
with them?
that was
brought their own
totally. Yeah, he brought
They
all that.
brought their own table.
It was very much like Christmas Carol when the ghost of Christmas passed.
Don't remember that. I'm watching more. So we might need a table. If he even agrees to actually come have dinner with us.
Yeah, otherwise we want to scope some places out. I don't know, other places we need to go.
Be good to know where Philip is staying.
I could see where he's living.
Well, Ukala was probably going to go to the Woodcarvers Guild to inquire about where he could buy building materials, so he could see if they have a table for sale or something.
That'd be good.
Yeah. So traveling to the Woodcarvers Guild, they do have materials for you. As you kind of come up outside, you see that there's just huge stacks of wood, processed and unprocessed. Clearly, the Sahagin invasion is doing wonders for the woodworkers' economy here in Saltmarsh, and you're able to both procure the required materials and a table if you so desired. You have a range of tables. You have just kind of your normal day-to-day eat off of it whatever tables, and then you have everything up to like fancy just feast tables, 15 feet long kind of things.
Let's see, so how many people we're inviting? Anders and his manservant.
I mean, when we have dinner with him, it's usually just us and him, isn't it?
Yeah.
He might want to bring along bodyguards of some sort, depending on how safe he feels on our ship.
Yeah. Or he might insist that we meet him for dinner at his place. Well, no, but he did want to see the ship, though.
He did, so it'd be a good way to get him to come here. Can we send an invite via sending? Or is that a waste of a spell when we could just probably drop a letter around?
Yeah, I do have it packed. So as long as we don't fight too many things today, it should be fine.
He might appreciate the novelty of it as well. Sweeten the deal.
Right, Ukala will look for a table that can seat like maybe 8 to 10 people. That's like, yeah, is that too big? There's 5 of us, and then yeah, I mean, with if it's just Anders, it'd be 6. But if there's anyone else that comes, of course, I don't know if they'd be sitting or not. I don't know. There's 5 of us. I don't know if Natalie or Tom would be there. 7.
Depends if you want to invite Natalie.
Sure.
Let's get dressed up for dinner.
Alright, so a table of that size, and we'll say a table for 10, just to be safe, would cost you about 300 gold pieces. The materials required to fix the tattoo parlor is going to cost you about 1,000 gold pieces.
Wow.
Ooh, what about the pearl? Do you have that, or does she have it?
She gave it to Yukala. Yeah, he has it.
You could sell it. Sorry.
No, I should. I
should be letting you do what you want.
No, I was thinking that. That's what I was thinking. Now that it's not glowy and magical and stuff. Yeah, so I'll put that on hold, and I will. He will go to the. Well, he'll ask Lucilla and the rest if they have any experience selling
selling pearls, or if they're okay with that idea, selling it, explain the situation, the costs involved.
Yeah, I mean, you guys could have. You can roleplay that out if you want, or you can just decide, I suppose.
Do you want to roleplay? I mean, I think Lucilla's the only one with a decent charisma score.
You don't
Maybe.
have the pearl, though.
So,
Well, I'll ask too. Like, are people okay if we sell it and use it for those reasons, or would people like to do other things with the? I guess maybe we should see how much we can get for it first.
It was a large pearl, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's large and of good quality. You would probably estimate probably 500 gold pieces worth.
Yeah, well, let me make sure I don't need it for a spell. I don't think so.
Yeah, I would say let's make sure Hiss doesn't need it for a component. It could be a great component.
That's a good point.
I don't know. Let's have a look. Spell component database. That's useful.
I know there's a pearl that you need for identify, but I think he already has that.
Yeah, she has that one.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything.
The only other spell is Circle of Death, whatever that is. Needs 500 black pearl powder. But, I don't know what that spell is. I'll look that up. That sounds dramatic.
Circle of Death.
Yeah, I think you could just... I mean, you gave it to her anyway. You intended for her to have it.
All right. To the market then, Lucilla. Would you mind helping?
Ooh, should I flick the coin? The charisma coin?
What?
Remember we got given the coin!
We got coins.
Yeah, remember,
I forgot that.
sometimes I give you guys magic items and then you never use them.
Hold on, I have to go find it. It's in...
You never use them.
I've never used it, but I've been wanting to. I just haven't done any, like...
So I'm looking at mine now. So these are actual. I mean, I know we got them in game, but I didn't realize they were magic. Maybe I forgot about that.
It's in my desk somewhere.
This one has a skull and like a bird with runes around it.
That's a birth certificate. That is not...
Yeah, so they give you advantage. So if you flip them heads up, they give you advantage for the next, I think it's 10 minutes of your particular attribute that the coin is attributed to.
Fantastic.
Okay, I found it.
Was it a minute or 10 minutes?
I think it's 10 minutes.
I think so too.
So...
Or if it goes tails, you get disadvantage.
it's a pearl, isn't it? It's fine. It's just money. Got plenty of money. Okay, so mine has a crown on one side and a skull on the other side. I can't remember which one's heads and which one's tails.
You could make the crown. You decide.
I mean, the skull is literally a head, so...
I think that was my intent, but you might think that is a bad thing, so...
No, that's how I'd interpret. So, wait. Heads... Is heads advantage or disadvantage?
Head's advantage, tail's disadvantage.
That makes sense to me, though. Wait, no, it doesn't. Never mind, it's fine. I'm going with the skull. Skull is heads. I dropped it. Hold on. That was heads.
Alright, next 10 minutes you have advantage on charisma.
Nice. I would have done that when I was by wherever we're going to try and sell this, not 10 minutes away from it.
Fair enough. Alright, so you walk into a jewelry shop, so to speak. You hear a baby yell in the background. And
Baby
the
sound.
shopkeeper, you hand over the jewel or the pearl, and he looks at it.
Yes, I'd say 450 gold pieces for this. It's nice, but it's not impeccable quality. It's rather...
Well, I think the story that accompanies it makes it worth slightly more. See, this was given to us by an archfey, who plucked it from a clam at the depths of the ocean and handed it to us.
Oh,
I don't think you'd pick a terrible quality pearl, would you?
well, perhaps not. But, you see here this discoloration on the side. It could affect the price.
Not by 100 gold, surely. I know what a pearl that size is generally worth.
Alright, 500. Unless you have a better offer.
But, again, the accompanying story. Imagine what you would get from a collector of any artifacts to do with Fae. They'd pay so much more for it.
Yes, there's such a market for that here in Saltmarsh. Go ahead and
There's a market for it.
go ahead and roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Ooh, nice. Thank you, coin.
Oh, girl, you do speak sense. I suppose I could part with it for 700 gold pieces, but not a copper more.
That's alright. I'm happy with that.
All
I'll go
right.
to Carla for approval.
Yeah, he'll nod his head, impressed.
Counts out the money, hands it over to you in a bag, and then he takes the pearl and
What a steal.
puts it underneath the counter.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I think that's all. Pleasure doing business.
Pleasure's all mine. Have a good day.
I'll leave the shop. Maybe should have asked for more. I guess I don't know what the value of an archfey's touch is.
You leave
It's
with the
very
impression you got a good deal.
Okay. I'll hand the bag of coins over to Carla.
As far as the materials and the table are concerned, did you want to spend that much? Did you want to try to do something different? Or are you good with that?
I'll discuss the table. I'll discuss it with the others and get their thoughts.
Okay.
300 gold seems like a lot for a table to me. So I'm just looking at our treasury, and 2 diamonds is worth that. I mean, if it's a very fancy table, that's okay. It's just... seems expensive for just a run-of-the-mill table. If it's not very nicely engraved, then I'm not sure it's worth the price. You could probably haggle them on that one. fact, you could take the coin and see how you fare.
Well, the coin only works once a day. And it
Only
only
once a
works.
day?
Yeah, and you have to tune. That does require attunement.
Oh, okay.
I mean, honestly, if we had more time, I'd just buy the material and take a crack at making a table myself. But that it's only so much I can do in a day.
We could just shove barrels together. I think I've got a desk in the captain's quarters. We could make do.
D&D, everybody. It's like real life. What table do we buy?
I did agonize over that. I spent a year in the place I'm currently in without a dining room table because we just couldn't figure out which one to get.
Right. Well, at least for now, if it's okay, they'll buy the materials for shipping.
Okay.
If it's okay with everyone, take another 300 from. Well, I don't actually. Do we even have that much?
No, you guys have
we
a lot.
12,000 gold.
Oh, okay.
I'll close the notes so you can fiddle with them as needed.
Yeah, take another 300 and buy the construction materials, but maybe hold off on the table just for now.
Okay. 1,000 gold.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Anders likes it when we're rustic.
This is true. So yeah, I'll take another 300 from the.
So you are
the
buying the
treasury.
table.
I'm buying the construction materials to fix my shop, holding off on the table, so not buying.
Well, the construction materials are 1,000 gold.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Oh, I
this is
see.
700.
For the 700.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, so you coordinate the purchase of the materials and their delivery to the shop itself. And they'll be delivered in a day or so. Alright, what else are you guys doing?
Gonna send a message to Anders, either sending or written.
Alright, go ahead and send away.
I think sending would have a certain pizzazz to it.
Alright, I'll do sending. See.
Oh, boy.
Anders, it's Vanya. You want to come see our ship? How about tonight? We can treat you to dinner for once. Feel free to bring your manservant and friends.
It's
You can reply.
After a second,
Oh, shit, I wasn't counting.
he goes, a magical message, an invite to dinner upon the ship that everyone's talking about around town? How could I resist? I'll be there at sundown. And that's it.
Alright, guys. We got a dinner date at sundown.
Nice.
Alright.
So we probably want to spruce up the place slightly.
Alright. Thrak yells out at the deck, come on, you sea bags! Get this place spruced! Swamp the deck! Clean the railings! Not a speck of dust! And the crew snaps to attention and they start scrubbing and cleaning the more unsavory parts of the ship, so to speak.
Okay, and I guess we'll just shove together some barrels and boxes. Use that for a table.
Actually,
And,
might think, dining on the ship,
Put some pillows on the floor.
like an austere, like a novelty.
Yeah. I think you'll like it.
Give him a look on how sea life is.
Alright, is there anything else you guys wanted to complete throughout the day? Ezio decides that he's going to take about 20 gold pieces worth of the treasury to go and buy provisions for the dinner. He is very excited and bustles off at great speed to the markets.
Okay, I've taken that out.
What if we make it like a dinner cruise?
A sunset cruise.
It depends.
Ham it up like glamping,
Oh,
like a dude ranch for soft skinned folks or something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, I get that. Do you mean to go out on the ocean? Because he might feel like he's being kidnapped.
No, we totally tell him when they get here we're gonna do a dinner cruise and we'll be back in a few hours. And we're just gonna
We could at least offer. We could say if you want to, we could take it out for a spin, and he could.
Right.
It's a good idea.
Let him see the crew in action and hoisting sails and all that.
You can always do that.
Let him take a spin at the wheel.
I'm not so sure about that one. He's got no sailing experience. I won't let any of the rest of you touch the wheel.
What harm could he do in 2 minutes of steering the ship in open seas?
Well, I don't know. Perhaps he's a walking disaster. I'll think about it.
So he's related to Lucilla.
Was that in character?
No.
Alright. Anything else to be taken care of during the day?
You want to go break into anyone's houses and collect info?
We don't know where Philip lives, right?
We don't.
No, not as of yet.
I'd like to make it around town and just generally question, just talk to some town folks and see the interaction between the guard and the people of the town and get a feeling for what's going on.
Okay.
Like, do they close the doors when the guards walk by, or are they happy to share a fish stick, or do the guards just take a fish stick?
Right.
Or,
So go ahead and I'm going to have you make a series of checks. Make a perception check. Make a charisma.
I'm so good at charisma.
Just a straight charisma.
Yeah, boy.
Look at these. Look at these rolls, by the way.
That's so weird.
Classic Hessick. And then
Nothing
make an investigation roll as well. Okay. So as far as what you see, you just leave the ship behind and start meandering through town, just taking in the general atmosphere, the feeling, the vibes. While doing so, you're move through the markets, listening, talking to people, buying a few knickknacks here or there, engaging in local commerce and conversation. And while there, you do see a larger than usual troop of guards. Now, you normally see them moving through the city on a regular basis. Patrols have definitely been stepped up. And it's usually a contingent of about 6 guards in half plate, heavily armed with ranged and melee weapons moving through the town. This new group you've seen is about 8 to 10 soldiers being led by something very interesting. What you see is a gleaming construct made of various types of metal accented in gold and brass. Humanoid in it, that it's about 6 foot, 6.5 feet tall. Not 6, that's a big difference. About 6 feet tall, and 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, a body, but completely made of metal all the way to the crown of its head. It has eyes, and it's dressed. It's not dressed in clothing, but you can see metals that have been welded to its carapace. And it carries a large 2-handed sword slung across its back. You watch as the soldiers themselves seem to be taking orders from this construct and hold it in high regard as it moves throughout the city. As far as general impressions you get from people, you're coming in contact with all sorts of people. The general populace of Saltmarsh that has lived here generationally or for years is not very happy about it. They feel like their way of life had already been threatened by the new mining operation and the king's influence there. But now, with the new guard, the captain of the guard not being an outsider, the new council members being outsiders, the locals definitely feel like their way of life is going to disappear. And the Saltmarsh as they knew it is going away. There's also a clash of, not arms or anything like that, but there's definitely a conflict, a tension between the new people in town that have been brought in, wives, spouses, children of these new soldiers, of the new people that have come in to Saltmarsh as a result of the Keelandish kingdom's people moving in. So there's some tension there as well. Generally, the people that are new in town really appreciate the use or the show of force, and they feel like the town of Saltmarsh needs to be brought into a new modern age, or need to be brought to heel a little bit. So it's less of a backwoods port and more of a gleaming example of the Keelandish kingdom, whereas the locals who have lived there generationally are very afraid, or are very concerned, at least at this point. There have been no overt acts of violence from the military, from the guard. It's not a military coup. They haven't been treated poorly, although the laws do seem to have become more strict and more enforced in a more official way than the way Eleander Firethorn did, which is more of like your county sheriff who knows the people, is connected to the people, and will let things slide as a result. That's what you glean from that.
Awesome. Thank you. So I will come back to the ship and tell everyone that the people are they don't feel threatened by the guard. There's no overt subjugation of them, but there is a pall in the air where they're unhappy with the change.
Can't blame them.
No, they didn't ask for this change.
While out and about in town, you do like catch glimpses of a glimpse or two of Tomas just cavorting around town, enjoying his shore leave. An arm around a female here, a glass of wine in the other, just kind of being him.
Could I have maybe gotten close to the group of guards? I have a feeling that somehow that hulking beast of walking metal might be Captain Pillar.
Yeah, I think with that perception and investigation, you would have heard him referred to as such. That was Captain Pillar.
Yeah, I definitely want to relay that he's a tin soldier. No, he's not made of flesh.
Yeah, he's make a history check for me. Yeah, you've never really seen or heard of anything like that before. It's outside of the construct you found outside the back of that bar. Other than that,
What did we do with that?
technically, he's probably somewhere on the ship.
Just hanging out. Poor dude, he's just collecting dust.
He powered down.
When the Dreadnought crashed, I wonder if he just kind of got
That's true. I didn't even think about
Oh shit! What if there's like his head just stuck in one of the walls?
He's
like what if he's like
Jarvis.
a refrigerator now?
Oh my god! Oh no, we don't need. What if it's like Hal from?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Hal, open the bay doors.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Oh god.
Alright, so the rest of the day, unless there's anything else you guys want to accomplish, the rest of the day progresses. Sun travels across the sky, and the cool winter air chills your skin as the sun dips low, and you hear dips low on the horizon. Throughout the day, Ezio has been cooking like a madman. However, as he passed you with supplies, you did catch the uniquely limey scent of fish sticks, fish kebabs, as he moved onto the ship, carrying just an armload, and pulling a wagon behind him full of food, and he's been cooking like a madman all day. As the sun dips low towards the horizon and sunset approaches, you hear the clump, clomp, clomp of footsteps on the dock, and you peer over the railing, and you see a retinue of individuals. The captain of the guard himself, leading a contingent of soldiers, and the entire council, minus Ida Owland, mind you, is walking down the dock towards the ship. Philip is there, Lithiel is there, Ander, Galen as well. And they reach...
I'm just gonna look at Vanya. Did you invite all of them? Just
He
a thunder my brain.
friend. He apparently brought everybody.
Oh, boy.
Scarin is also there, standing dutifully with Anders, or Andor is his name, Andor. And each individual likewise is brought, like a manservant or some kind of scribe or something, a bit of an entourage, so to speak. And they stand at the gangplank, and you hear Andor call out from below, "Oh, the ship! Captain! Lucilla, are you there?"
Yes, I'm here. Lower
You-
the gangplank.
You said an upgrade. This is a whole new ship. A warship. And with
It's technically half of a new ship.
as the entire crew walks up the gangplank along with the soldiers and Captain Pillar, everyone kind of fans out along the deck. Which has been suitably decorated. Lanterns lit in the corners of all corners, railings shining the reflection of the setting sun upon them. Anders looks around. This is magnificent.
What's the D&D equivalent of fairy lights? Can we have some of those?
Fairy lights.
Yeah.
Meaning
Oh,
like floating lights kind of thing?
No, the lights on cables, whatever you guys call them.
Oh.
Like Christmas lights.
Oh, like
Oh, like
like
Edison bulbs.
Yeah,
and
outdoor
sort of-
Edison bulb lighting. Yeah, like you were at
Yeah.
every cafe or outdoor eatery. No,
Yes.
or my backyard, by the way.
They look pretty. I will not apologize for liking them.
I'd show you, but it's
I
daytime
would
now.
totally think that there's a magical
Can't collect
similarity. A construct that would be the same.
Can't collect like glowflies.
Sadly, I've never
Yeah.
purchased one. But Ezio has hung lines with, lanterns hanging from them, strategically. And Lithiel kind of looks around. Even he seems impressed. That's quite a ship.
I'd like to gather everyone, the crew, our group around, and say, you mentioned that it's the same ship but different. Either we can keep that adventure to ourselves, or we can try to dazzle them, and loosen everything up by telling that story, and really telling the story, with aid of any magic or reenactments or whatever, like dinner and a show, a couple bottles of wine to help open up any mouths and hear what. Also, I want to play up getting them away from the guard.
So the guards themselves were there for an escort. Captain Pillar, very soon after arriving and doing a quick cursory inspection, has deemed the ship more or less safe, and he ends up leaving with the rest of the guard.
Guys, play the game with Minecraft Dungeons.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, which story are you telling?
Story of how the ship got to be how
like
it is.
through the portal, fighting the Vanya becoming a champion, the ship becoming, like the Iliad Odyssey type of what's happened.
I've got no qualms with that. Sounds fun.
While this is happening, Ezio is out just bustling about in full form, delivering just appetizers of these fish sticks, claiming them to be of course not of his own cooking, but local dishes of fine quality. And surely most everyone on the ship seems to enjoy them. The only one who doesn't seem to be as impressed is Lithiel the elf. You move on from that as you're moving through this long epic tale. Soup is brought out, stew, a salad, and each of these courses is eaten in hand and explained that this is how life is done on a ship. We don't have tables, we don't have chairs to sit while the seas rage and monsters crash into the sides of our of our watery home. Sometimes you even have to fight sword in hand and fork in the other. So go ahead and do a performance check for me with advantage, Hisek. And the next course, the main course comes out, and it's just a delicious meat falling off the bone ham, and just these courses and desserts. They just keep coming throughout the course of the evening.
That was not going to go well.
Yeah, with advantage. With advantage.
Oh, I didn't hear it with advantage.
Yeah, I give you advantage on it. So, Anders is absolutely enthralled. You just hear gasps of delight, of fear. He is hanging upon your every word, and everyone seems to be really enjoying themselves. To a certain degree, as best as you can tell from face value, except for, of course, Lithiel, who just kind of hangs off over by the side. He's eating, but he's making a show of just. He's just there because he has to be there, kind of a thing. As the tale comes to an end, Ezio... Oh, shoot. Can you guys hear me? Blast. Hey, guys, can you check the internet? No, I'll do it. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I'm back.
Back? You okay?
Yeah, sorry, my, yeah, we sailed out of Wi-Fi range. My internet, wigged out. So, ultimately, the story comes to an end, and everyone is eating dessert at this point in time, which is a delightful cobbler of spiced fruits. And everyone's just kind of milling about the deck. Anders just taking turns trying to blow the horn on the mast. He's just like a kid in a candy store, and Scarin is just kind of like walking around behind him, like a doting mother. And the deck is yours.
Charlotte just went to the loo.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. Sorry, I'm eating sushi.
Well, that sounds good.
How fitting.
That's very fitting.
All right. What do you guys want to do? Everyone's kind of walking around, conversing with one another, and available for conversation.
I will offer to show Anders some of our living quarters, and also the size of the hold, so that he has an idea of what we can ship for him. And my intent is to get him alone, to be able to speak about the status of Saltmark.
Okay. Anders, you walk up to Anders as he's trying to blow this horn very pitifully, and go ahead.
That requires quite a bit of diaphragm strength.
Yes, indeed. It appears if I don't have it. It's all right. It's a hero's horn. That's your work.
I'm not one to blow the horn. I have other talents. Would you be interested in seeing the rest of the ship?
I
Living
certainly,
quarters and a hold?
I certainly would. And as he starts walking with you, Scarin follows with you. And you see Philip kind of walk over as well. I likewise would like to see the hold, if you would be. If you would allow my presence as well.
Do I notice this?
Roll a perception check.
Hold on. Got chopsticks.
Yes, you do.
I'd like to try and use panache against him. To try and enthrall him into taking, like, a look at the wheel or something.
I will, with playing on that, suggest that maybe smaller group tours, more personalized. Besides, the hallways are very narrow, and we would be looking over one another quite a bit. But 2 smaller groups would be better.
Okay, so persuasion
So-
check.
Let me just ask, in the wording of this, it doesn't say anything about them knowing that you've done anything. So,
Disadvantage on.
does that seem right to anyone else? Because that's what it says when I've looked it up, but I'm intending for him not to notice that I'm trying to beguile him.
Yep, that's fine. Alright, go ahead and do your persuasion check.
God damn Damn it.
Well, I was helping you.
That doesn't mean I get advantage, though.
Usually, when you take an action with help, with assistance, it's
That's up to Brad.
Okay.
I think
Yeah, I will
wonder-
allow it. I'll
I'm
allow it.
trying to here.
Okay.
I'll roll a persuasion check to see if I can persuade Brad.
I will allow it. As he walks over, drink in hand, what do you do, Lucilla?
I'm just going to saunter over to him, hips swaying. Don't know if he's even interested in women, but we'll find out. And just say, "Oh, I think you must have a look at the captain's quarters. Just gives you a real sense of what it's like to own a ship of your own, and maybe we'll let you have a turn on the wheel if we take the ship out for a spin." And I'll pour him some more wine.
As you walk up, you see, as he's walking, you say this and walk and talk at the same time, and pour him, fill up the rest of his glass, and you watch Hisik as he course corrects immediately, as she then starts like walking away in a different direction as she pours the wine. You watch as he follows her with his glass and with his body, and they move through a different door down below, down to the captain's deck. Yes, that does sound like a good idea. Please.
The whole time I talk to him, I'm just gonna be like, I'll tell him different stories, but I'm gonna leave out the illegal parts.
So
No illegal stuff, only the fun things.
you're telling me that you helmed the ship inside of a massive whirlpool? And that's what you hear, Hisik, as their conversation kind of dips into the distance. And Andrew goes, "Well, I suppose business is business. All right. Down below, here we go."
I can continue to eat my sushi.
I'll turn to Scarin and suggest he takes this time to relax, as no harm could come to Anders on this ship. Not while we're in this fine sail.
And Andrew, with his glass in hand, says, "Yes, Scarin, you old wet blanket. Enjoy yourself, sir. I would appreciate it. I think your mother would approve of me staying close by your side." "Oh, don't worry about it. These are the heroes of Saltmarsh. They returned our fine city to its former glory, saved us from the horde of Sahagin. Among other dangers, I am safe within their hands. Go get a glass of wine." And Scarin doesn't seem very happy about it, but he does allow Anders to be led down below, alone with you. And you inspect the hold, and you talk shop a bit, and there's a lull in the conversation as he takes a sip from his wine glass, kind of opening up an opportunity for you to ask what you need to ask, or want to.
Some drastic changes to Saltmarsh since we last sailed through.
Isn't it exciting, though? Saltmarsh is becoming a modern jewel. I suspect quickly we will surpass Seaton, and we will leave them in our dust, so to speak.
You know, it's funny that you say jewel, because many jewels they're possessed by others, thought as a means of wealth. The item itself has no freedom. That, as I walk the streets, that's the feeling I got from the people of Saltmarsh.
How so?
Yes.
How so?
The well, you called scaring a wet blanket. It's almost as if this new guard force has a smothering effect on the people.
He kind of like looks at you critically, and a slow smile creeps across his face. Why, Hisek, you're jealous. Oh, don't worry, you're the heroes of Saltmarsh. We love you here. Sometimes it's time to take a break, to pursue other avenues.
Truly, I'm not jealous. I'm happy to have helped the people of Saltmarsh, and I have no. I care not if we come back to Saltmarsh or not. We seek to see the people happy and free to make choices of their own, and not being used by.
Oh, the people are free. The king just thinks that we need to step into the future a little bit, become a little bit more advanced. That's going to break a few hearts, but that can't be helped. At least that's what Philip says, and it makes a lot of sense. We're even talking about hopefully trying to create a better relationship with the Silver Stand Elves. That's part of the reason why Lithiel was sent here. We've had a kind of a cold-shouldered understanding for years, and hopefully we'll be able to change that and move into a new era of relationship with them. I'm very excited about the prospects, both for the town itself and for trade. And if that comes at the cost of a few more patrols of guards through the city, and, taking our laws a little bit more seriously here and adding a few new ones, then perhaps that's the cost. That's what I'm willing to pay. I haven't found my life to be all that affected.
No, I don't expect your life would be affected overly much, but the people that work for you, they're the ones that stand to lose something.
Well, I think the public's more or less adapted and are generally happy with the situation. Although I suppose... Listen, you're sounding just like Ida. She's awfully concerned as well.
Is that his mother?
No, Ida Alland. His mother's dead, if you remember correctly. Ida's the other council member that's not present. And from previous interactions with her, she's a bit of a traditionalist. Kind of fights for the common man, I suppose you'd say. Or at least for the traditions of Saltmarsh. Anyways, don't you worry, Hisek. Things are ship-shape and shaping up here in Saltmarsh. There's some growing pains, but in the end I think it'll benefit all of us. He kind of claps you on the shoulder. Listen, from that epic tale, I had no idea you were all so skilled. I mean, I suspected, I suppose, but a champion of a god? Miss Vanya, huh? Perhaps, I mean, I've never heard of this deity before, but perhaps we should make the new temple in his honor. No deity has been chosen yet, and we haven't had any real applications for priests to move in, but that'll be happening soon. Anyways, you have a fine ship here.
Temple of Vogan would be fitting in Saltmarsh.
Indeed, the god of the sea to be worshipped in a town growing, the drool of the Azure Sea. Mark my words, we shall be the jewel. At least, that's the vision that Philip has, and he's a visionary, this one. He has big plans. And granted, we all are equal. He's not in charge of us, but it's nice to have a fresh perspective. Anyways.
You say he was sent by the king or the king's court?
Indeed. A friend of the king. He was an ambassador for years at the king's court, and the king sent him and Lithiel both. Lithiel, hopefully, with the purpose of increasing our relationship with the Silver Sand Elves, and Philip as a trusted hand of the king. He's a good man.
Where does he originally hail from, this Philip?
I don't know. Originally, I couldn't tell you. He's lived at the capital for years, however, in the king's court.
Is there a physical description of Philip?
Yeah, he's about 36 years old. Medium height, medium weight. He's not really remarkable in appearance. Close cropped, dark hair, dark eyes. Keelandish. You know, he looks Keelandish.
Alright. I will move him along and show him the hold and take the tour back up to the deck.
Alright. Any other interactions anyone wants to have?
I'm just wondering whether I would have thought to ask Philip where he came from.
Sure. So
Probably not.
You and Philip and Brett. I know you said you had to leave at 11.
I don't want to drag them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up pretty soon, but I'll stay on for a little bit.
Lucilla, you and Philip kind of wander your way through the ship. You show him the captain's quarters, your quarters. This truly is a magnificent ship. And if your friend's story is true, well, if even a quarter of that story is true, you and your friends are very resourceful, very powerful. What are you doing in Saltmarsh?
I can promise you the whole thing is true. Honestly, we're trying to have somewhat of a quiet time away from all of that craziness. Believe it or not, I didn't exactly ask to be thrown into any of this, so going back to doing what I know seems like a good change of pace.
And what is it that you know?
I know how to run a vessel. I know how to get cargo from A to B. And I'd like to do that for a bit before we go on any wild adventures again.
Oh, where did you learn those skills? Have you sailed your life? How old are you really? I'm sorry, a lot of questions.
A lot of questions.
Sometimes when you're talking to an elf, you don't know if you're talking to an ancient being.
Polite. It's not polite to ask an elf lady her age. But, 65. Baby by elf standards, quite frankly. But I've done enough in my time.
Sounds like you've done enough in the last couple of months.
It certainly feels like it. A lot of questions for me. What about you?
No.
Like, being friend to the king seems like quite a high station. Just wonder where someone like that even starts out in life.
Politics. My parents, of course, were involved in the kingdom. Wealthy merchants themselves. and I have more or less inherited their business. Both have passed. The business itself has an 8... Hold on one second. My connections in the business world have positioned me for ambassadorship. The king has sent me my first, from the years of 20 to 30, around the kingdom as an ambassador, and spent the last 5 at court. Well, 6. He is mercurial, powerful, but fortunately we struck up a bit of a friendship. Probably more than... I'd like to think that I'm someone in his court that he trusts. So when he heard of all the problems down here in Saltmarsh, he ran to me and sent me down here. I'm not all that thrilled to be in a bit of a backwater port, but it's pretty, the people are quaint, and I think it has loads of potential.
Where do you foresee it going?
Well,
I mean, there's so many changes made already.
I see nowhere but up. This mine here in town, there's a lot of potential for growth there. The shipping trade, it's a valuable location militarily. I think there's a potential of this becoming a grand jewel here on the coast.
Oh, no doubt. What, are you on the nicer side of Saltmarsh, or are you stuck in with the smellier side of the harbour?
Luckily I was able to stay in one of Anders' rooms for now. I'm still looking at a few places near Gellen's mansion, but for now I stay with Anders.
Nice.
Where are you staying, Pajan? On your ship
we
here?
stay on-
Or?
No, we stay on the ship. I've spent most of my life on a ship, so it feels more comfortable than just staying in some random inn. We would like to stick together as well.
Tight-knit group, huh?
When you've been on the brink of death and had them pull you back from it, you develop attachments. It's been some time since I've actually felt this close to a group of people like this, so I'm fond of them.
What a sweet story. Perfect
They're
music in
also
the background.
gigantic pain, but that can't be helped.
For an elf, you're rather down to earth.
I'm so sorry if you can hear that in the background. For some reason, someone's sounding a foghorn.
Well, you're
Pretty much.
You're here?
Pretty much.
I could
Sound
not.
of someone on deck. Horn.
I don't think it's coming
ambiance.
through. Shame. That would have been very thematic. I mean, I don't exactly have a long time of being set up anyway. You tend to remain grounded when you're on a ship amongst people that have come from dark backgrounds and misfortune.
Well, I don't want you to be disheartened that the salt marsh that you seem to know might be a little different than you remember.
It doesn't seem like it was doing them much good as it was anyway.
On top of being charming, I imagine you and your friends could find, we might be able to find a mutual benefit to one another.
Alright.
And with
Well,
that,
let us know if you've got jobs.
yes, I
Always
will.
available.
And with that, he quaffs the rest of his drink, and, well, we should probably rejoin the party.
Oh, of course.
After
To
you.
you.
Oh,
Oh.
sure. Yes. And, you make your way back out onto the deck. Anything else that anyone wants to do?
I'm gonna have to jump off.
All right.
Great session, everyone. It's great. I laughed. I cried. Much better than cats.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
Bye,
Thanks, Brad.
Brad.
Thanks, everyone.
Of course.
Have a good
See
one.
you, dude. And with that,
Yeah.
the evening everyone kind of rejoins back on the deck. The sun is set. There's some dancing to be had, some conversation, most of it small talk. Lithiel leaves as soon as he possibly can. And
Elves.
eventually the evening winds down. And people stumble off the ship in different levels of inebriation back to their homes, escorted by the guard. And we will call it a session at that.
Sasha, you sure you didn't want to do any schmoozing?
That's true. We can rewind.
Yeah, it's alright. I think I'm good.
Be taking a nap already.
I know, poor Sasha.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm sleepy.
Alrighty.
Fair enough. Just thought I'd double check.
Alright.